Okay, Aaron, here it is. I'm going to mount the tire after I remove it from the mock-up frame. This is a Schwinn Stingray spoiler frame, exactly like yours that you have at home. I'm pretty sure I had you take the disc off. That's just a mock-up disc that I'll be removing. I just wanted to make sure that the distance was correct for the rear disc brakes. So I've got spacing set up in here. I didn't go all the way through the adjustment, but the way I've got it spaced, and that is an original spoiler caliper. I've got it properly spaced right here so that you'll be able to slide your disc right inside your existing caliper in its existing position. So I am going to take the disc rotor off, and you use yours, but this one's the same as yours, and should slide right in to your existing frame. But you do have to, I'm going to put electrical tie right here on the axle when I ship it. You need to have these spacers on the right and these spacers on the left. There's an anti-rotation lock washer in there. Very important that it gets put back together the way that I send it to you. This is your rim. We built the wheel on there. I gave you a new free wheel because it's too difficult to get the old ones off the old hub. You're going to be, this is an anti-rotation arm, and you're going to slide this wheel in, and I'll put electrical tie right here so you know where it goes. But this is to keep that axle from spinning out inside that aluminum frame. So I have multiple fittings because this thing torques so hard that that axle's trying to turn inside that frame, and I have a number of fittings and this arm that prevents that. So I didn't lock this all the way down, but I will tighten this, but you will have to tighten this all the way down to the frame and flatten it out, because it might interfere with the chain if you don't flatten that band out. If you can find a better way to mount it, if you just want to use a bolt, go ahead, but this is what comes with the arm. So if you crank it all the way down, you'll have the band will come out the other side. You can break it off, but it's your call. Now you can see here I have the hub connected directly to the controller. It's a short wire. You should be able to route that nicely. I'm going to send you some cable ties. You should be able to kind of route that nicely and out of the way. These plugs all have arrows. I'm going to try to leave it connected, but they have arrows on each side of the plug, and you push them all the way together because they're waterproof. They're hard to plug in and they're hard to unplug, but that way if you ride in water it's not a problem. You're going to have to mount your controller right here on the side. If you want to black out this wording, have at it. That's just what they do. I have this mocked up with cable ties, but I'm going to give you actual metal brackets, which I think will work better for the long haul. This is your pedal assist cable. I have it kind of wadded up under here. I suggest you just kind of loop it back and forth and maybe tape it under your frame with some Gorilla Tape or something to take up the slack. You got to get creative because they give you more cable than you need in some places. Same thing here. This is your main wire going to your control dashboard, and you can see I've got it connected to the controller here, but you've got a whole lot of slack to deal with on that cable. So get creative. I don't know what to tell you. I actually drill holes in the opposite side of the frame, and I run that particular wire, this big long wire, I put a hole under here for this big long wire. I put a hole under here and a hole up here, and I run it through the frame. But you know, you don't have to do that initially if you don't want to. But it's your call. You can't splice those cables. You're just going to have to find a way to hide them. Now this is your pedal assist, and I do have this sensor cable tied on there. It looks, I'll send you some ties. It looks like you can get away with just tying it on there, and with some cable ties it'll take 2 of them, and then you just want that magnet, this sensor here, right up against the magnets, and it seems to be an easy install. This actually has 2 halves, so you won't have to take your crank arm off. You just have to open it up and smash the 2 halves together, and then this locking ring locks over the top of the 2 halves to keep them in place, so you won't have to remove your arm in order to install that. And you'll notice I'm going to, this will mount on your handlebar. It connects to your computer dashboard here. Let me back off a little bit. This little short cable, this controls your speed and your on and off. It connects to your computer dashboard. Your dashboard here, I'm sending you some spacers. You'll be able to straddle the double mounts on your fork. I don't know if you'll be able to put it straight on, but you might have to put it on one side or the other of your double mounting blocks. But there's spacers, rubber spacers that come with this that allow you to put it on the 7/8 handlebar. So I'll just put this back the way I had it for a second. Just have it sitting there. Here's your throttle. I'm going to send you the thumb throttle. You will have the other style throttle if you want to use it. You'll just have to slide a small screwdriver under your existing hand grip. Spray some Windex under there. Slide the existing hand grip off and then slide this on. It goes on the right side this way with the cable going off to the left, and that's a thumb throttle. So it has this little fitting here that has to go in between the thumb throttle and the grip, so that the grip isn't right up against the thumb throttle, preventing it from moving smoothly. So you need to use the spacer. You can see how it goes in there. I just got a cable tie holding it in place. So to turn this unit on, you just simply push, this is called the M button. You can see that came on. So to shut it off though, you have to hold it down for a couple seconds there. So just remember, because if you leave it on for multiple days without realizing it, you might run your battery down to nothing. So you can see your battery has only about 1/3 of a charge on it. I haven't put it on the charger yet. It's been sitting here. So I will put it on the charger tonight, and this is all going to ship tomorrow. These arrows here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's your speed settings. You're probably going to leave it on 5. The engine kicks out at like 32 miles an hour. So it's on. I got it on number 5 speed. If you were to pedal the bike, you hear that the engine kicking and see that flashing? That's the pedal assist, and it's taken off when I pedal. That's just the brake rubbing because I don't have it properly adjusted. I just got it sitting on there, but with the spacing that I'm using, you will have no problem getting your brake adjusted and the rotor centered. But you know, you can also use your thumb throttle here. So this thing will fly. I think I'm going to have to adjust the wheel size because I don't think I'm getting the proper speed reading on that. So that's about it. We on mock-up, this is your power cord. There's actually 2 inlets there. It's redundant. I just left the cap on the other one. So this is your power. You'll just leave that hooked up. You won't necessarily ever have to take that off. And then your charging port is also redundant. Here's a cap, and your charger has a fitting for going in right there. So you got the big time charger, so you know it'll charge this battery up in about 3 hours. So I'll show you. This battery is magnetic. I'll go ahead and disconnect this. This battery is magnetic. It just pulls off of this tray here. It's on tight. I just put some cable ties on there. I'll send you some self-drilling screws. You're going to want to set it in about that position. You know, just make sure when you mount it that you put the battery on it first and make sure you have enough clearance for your plug over here and whatnot. So basically I think I would just mount it with the battery all the way forward until it touches the frame here. And then I would just put some small pilot holes here and maybe put 2 or 3 screws in there. You're probably not going to be pulling that off of there. But these are super strong magnets. And this thing has a rail underneath it, a steel rail, and it just drops over the top of that and it holds it just fine. It ain't coming off of there. So you know, it's just going to be a matter of you getting creative with your cables. Like I said, I have put taken a step bit, drilled this down to about 7/8 and then drilled it out under here and just hit all the additional cable in this frame here, but it's your call. And that's it. You can call me if you need anything. And I'm going to do the final setting of the computer. And I'm going to box this up and ship it tomorrow. We'll talk later.